Asia this week. It was a couple of days ago on Monday. Nightmare, he took down Raynor as well. He did beat, and Raynor did not off race. He played Zerg during ESL Open Cup. So Nightmare even taking him down. I think it was like in the round of 16, just really early on in the tournament as well. Like Nightmare, he's just been improving quite a lot as of late.
Yeah, well, I mean that's impressive, but I'd like to see him fight Reyna's Protoss, so it's kind of more even, fair match. Okay, up here in the top right, it's our Zerg player in the blue from Team Vitality, Solar.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing himself, or representing Twisted Minds even. It is Stats.
So you can see Solar, it's not that he is a 14 hatcher, he is a 14 hatcher against dirty hatch blockers. Alright, so you can see that he's just going for a regular 16 hatch here against Stats. Maybe he knows that Stats likes to keep it simple here with his Gateway Scout. Ooh, I like that from Stats, checking the goal base on the way through. Subtle move.
Yeah, it's
but an important one.
It's a bit of a trend amongst a lot of the Korean Protosses just because, I mean, who else is in the region? Dark is in the region, Shin is in the region, DRG as well. We've seen many a Zerg player rush into this gold base a lot faster, so yeah, it has kind of become a custom here for a lot of Protoss players, not even just the Koreans, but I'm sure some of the Europeans as well, to just check and make sure that there is no shenanigans going on.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, we saw Stats earlier against Young Yakov on this map.
True.
Fighting against a gold base, so if anything, a bit of PTSD from that game. He's just double checking that it's all good, and here's Solar, he's not up to anything particularly naughty at all. We're gonna have a very, very normal PvZ. So while we're waiting for that to happen, Live VIP, have you, like, tell me about Nightmare here. So has he been getting a lot of good results, or like what's does he say he's beaten Reyna? Like, is he really starting to make some waves here?
So on Monday, he beat Raynor. He also forced Solar to the ace match. They went all the way to game 3. He actually beat Solar previously in the GSO qualifiers as well. So Nightmare, he's actually been improving quite a lot, especially because I feel like PvZ has been his weakest matchup for a long time. Like his PvP and PvT is insane, but his PvZ has been has kind of been his Achilles heel for years at this point, but it has been improving quite a lot as of late. It's impressive, very impressive.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, a lot of I mean, frankly, PvZ is whether you could say that it's favored one or another, it's not really important. It has become better for Protoss. That's clear. So when that's your weakest matchup, it starts to become a little bit easier for you. I won't say easy, but easier. And I think, I mean, he said he beat Solar, he beat Reyna. Those are big names for a player like Nightmare. I mean, even today he's knocking out some top players. So it'll be interesting to see if he can continue to do that. Here's the double adept. I don't think we're going to see Stats doing anything too crazy, but well, Solar's okay. Hold on, guys. I'll get the Google Translate out. All right, hold on.
Let's go. Now, thankfully, this is the real reason why I got Ryan here on stream, and that's because he is fluent in Korean. He has a master's in Hangul, and because of that, Ryan, he's about to give us some clean translations.
Okay,
right?
Okay. I maybe my Google Translate, it says "Do not ride Taj Mahal." So
good.
So do not ride and then Taj Mahal.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that just makes sense, right? I mean, what else would you say?
I guess Taj Mahal, I mean, maybe you could argue Protoss is kind of somehow reflecting the Taj Mahal. I don't know what do not ride means, but this is
maybe
really,
he's saying don't go Twilight Council. Maybe Taj Mahal translates to Twilight Council. Like that's what I'm thinking right now. Maybe that's what you're saying earlier.
Do not build a Twilight Council, and Stat says
yeah.
I'm not sure what that translates to exactly. You know, maybe it means Zerg, possibly. What do you think?
True. I think that is the Korean word for Zerg, actually.
Another melee. So actually, this is something that I think, from what I've seen, was not as common. Was my understanding, but it seems like everyone's a big fan of the melee.
So melee, obviously, melee openers were very common back in the day before the change to. If you remember, they changed the probe and then +2 wouldn't one shots with bathing run bys.
Yeah,
that was like a big change that happened like a year ago now. And +1 melee openers fell off, but as of the past couple months, ever since like the start of the year or the new patch, +1 melee has been becoming part of the norm. It's becoming more meta.
Right.
It's back.
All those adepts dying, I guess there were Lings on the other side, maybe? It seemed like Stats was a bit distracted there, and losing all of those adepts rather, to the Lings is not what you want, and all of a sudden Soul's going to have a lot of pressure here, and those adepts are not enough without the oracles.
Yeah, so Lings, they get across the map, the shield battery position, the adepts are going to be going down, the Stalkers are under fire as well, the oracles have to race back home, but there are so many Lings, we're getting a lot done here.
This is really nice for Solar. He's picking off a lot of probes, and behind this, he's just happy to drone, get everything he wants, and so far, pretty much exactly what you could hope for here for Solar. And there is the Templar Archives coming down for Stats. I think perhaps a bit earlier. Does he have a Robo there yet? Did I miss that?
No Robo. Yeah, I'm with you there. This is a very early Temple Archives from Stats. Interesting move. There is no Robust. There's no way to really reinforce the move out across the map or even get detection out. So interesting choice here. As Soul's getting to a 4th base, we're going for Devastation bit. Hydrogen. I'm sure we've seen this plenty of times already here tonight, but we want to work towards Hydras and eventually Lurkers as well.
It's pretty weird to go for the Temple Archives before the Robo, but I guess he's going to use it for Archons, actually, I think. And he hasn't started Storm yet. Perhaps he just wants, okay, there it is now, so he is just going to save up the energy on these Templars. Lurker Den already there. Has there been a hive started? Not yet, so...
Yeah, no hype for the
surely
time.
it's not Lair Tech Lurkers. Surely not.
There it is. As soon as the Oracle's back off, I mean, there's a revelation on. Hive is on the way. Stats does see this. That's a big tell. Stats, he may have not seen all of the tech, but seeing the Hive already on the way should be enough to give him a bit of an idea of what's going on. As Lings, once again, they do harass, they do hit across the map, and units are going down.
Yeah, Soul's doing such a good job just getting a lot done for a little with these Zerglings, and he's distracting Stats on both sides, trying to get in, poking it around. Is Cybernetic score going to go down? I mean, it is going to go down.
Yeah. Yeah, no shield battery, no overcharge either. We bust into the natural base. Looks like we have Blink, thankfully, so we should be able to clean up these Lings, but that's a surprising amount of damage there.
I'd like for you to bust into my natural base like
Oh my god, am I causing with Asher? What's going on? What's
Okay, alright, we're back. We're here. The Hydras are coming out and the Oracle's getting a lot of scouting off. Solar, he's done a lot here, but Stats, he's kind of getting everything he wants. It's just really bad trades, and again, the Link's getting on the Stalkers. Oh wow, oh my god, that's such a big warp in. He's not going to storm his own units.
Yeah, he's not going to storm, but that was a lot of Stalkers going down in that trade, and with that, Solar, he just has so much map control. He's so comfortable back at home, getting up to 4 bases, a 5th base is on the way, gas geysers as well, we're joining up to 81. Solar, it just looks so comfortable here on Alkion in game 1.
Yeah, Solar, I mean, the way he's used his Zerglings is just so cool. Like, just hitting everywhere, getting so many nice little trades, picking off the Adepts early into the game, then picking off Stalkers, getting some probe damage, killing a Cybernetic score of all things, and here come the 8 Lurkers. The range is still not quite researched, and is he gonna just go for the attack here, or is, like, let's see what's, I mean, Solar's really, the onus is on him next. Fleet Beacon coming out behind this from Stats, still a long way off any kind of air transition. I'm a bit worried for him. I think this Lurker timing is going to be very tough for him to hold. What's his immortal count looking like? Like VIP's got one immortal. I don't know if that's really exactly what he needs right now.
I mean, one is pretty good. You know, one immortal can do a lot here for the Protoss army, and we're about to triple that with 2 more immortals on the way as well. So we'll see what stats can get done as we have a lot of storms available. We have the fleet beacon on the way. We're transitioning into Skytoss, but as you mentioned, Sol's about to max out. He's going to be the first to max out, going to be the first to push out. Can stats pull off a miracle? Can the Shield of Fire hold?
Oh my god, there's a single swarm host on the way. This could be the game changer. We'll see what he chooses to use it for. Obviously, an intentional move here from Solar to try and pull stats apart. And as I mention it, here comes the first part of the multi-prong. 3 lurkers and lings on one side, and he uses that chance. 1 Templar goes down. So far, so good from stats, though.
Yeah, so far so good. He's holding on. He does catch a couple lurkers here towards left-hand side as well, so good pickoffs, but that lurker army is devastating. Another storm will connect. Stats buying some time, and that immortal count is getting higher and higher.
Oh, Soul's going for it. He's trying to get onto these units, and he is going to pick off a lot of Templars. And all of a sudden, this position is looking very vulnerable here for stats, but he's countering at the same time into the Zerg Natural, and I don't know if Solar has the units. He's got nothing over here.
Yeah, there's nothing at home to defend. Massive storm here on the Hydras. Hydras are going down. The Lurkers themselves are looking a little bit vulnerable on the front lines as well, but it looks like, oh, these Ling reinforcements, they clean up the Zealots. It looks like back at home, Solar, he will defend.
Yeah, both players are doing a lot of damage here on either side. I do think Stats is eventually going to have to give up this position. Although, with this warp in, he's going to try, but those Lings came in at just the right time to slow down those Zealots. And then he's actually going to clean this up, and all of a sudden it's falling apart for Stats. Solar, such a great job this game, and there's the GG call.
GG, well played. Solar takes game number 1. Again, a pretty dominant performance. Very impressive performance there by Solar.
Solar's so sick. That was just like really, I don't even know, like Stats, I can't say he played badly. It just seemed like Solar was just all over him. Like he never really had a chance to get anything done, and then in the chaos he tried to counterattack, and the lurkers on that 4th base, too much.
Yeah, just really clean play there out of Solar, and as you mentioned, just causing so much chaos in the bases of Stats with his Ling counterattacks. Ling run-bys getting probe kills, getting units, whether it's Stalker, whether it's Adept, getting the Cyber Core as well. That was also another big moment where he was able to slow down the tech and really kind of disrupt the build of Stats. And Stats, he was just stuck at home almost the entire game. Yeah, there was that one counterattack, but that's really all he had to really slow Solar down.
That's the kind of game that, you know, Zerg really wants to have, is a game where you're getting in against the Templar army with a very heavy lurker count, and you're able to kind of hit that strong timing. Okay, hold on, my VIP. I've got to pull out the translate again here to understand what's going on in the chat.
Okay. Tell me about the Taj Mahal. Tell me.
Oh, God, I didn't quite get the photo in time. I'm so upset. I would have loved to have known what they were going for here. If there was more commentary on the Taj Mahal and maybe the pyramids of Egypt next.
Oh.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Very, very interesting what these top Korean players chat about. Obviously, they've known each other for almost decades probably at this point, and they've been clashing all along. My VIP, tell me about our blue Zerg player up in the top left here.
Oh, in the top left, we have our blue Zerg representing Team Vitality, leading the series 1-0. 1 game away from taking it all. He's up against his ex-teammate, by the way. They used to be part of the Splice Boys, if you remember that. It is Solar.
He's actually doing... Is it... Okay, so it's a 14 hatch where he still sends... Oh, right. Okay, I see what he's doing. Yeah. He checks to see. Right, okay. Interesting. So I wonder if he did that last game and I just didn't quite see it. Because that's a very interesting little move. So he's going to say if he sees the probe there, he's going to go back and make the hatch on 14. Definitely get it down. And if he doesn't see it, he's going to make those 2 extra drones. And it's only going to be, well... less of a slowdown compared with just dropping the hatch on 14. So that's a creative solution. I don't mind that from Solar.
Not bad at all. And his opponent in the bottom right-hand corner is the South Korean Protoss. He's red. He's Stats.
Also representing Twisted Minds. Makes sense. You'd need a Twisted Mind to play Protoss with a good conscience. So Stats here demonstrating.
You're gonna finish that.
At this point, it's just slander, you know what I mean? I don't want to be taken to court here, so Stats, please, your lawyers.
I was gonna say, Papi, Stats is so wholesome. What are you doing right now? You know, he's always got a smile on his face. You know, he's always cheerful, and you're just going hard. Calm down. Calm down.
I mean, I guess if you don't smile, you would cry, and Stats, he might be crying after that game one because Solar was all over him. And here's the Stargate. It's business as usual. And Solar, of course, he's got the Overlord floating over the natural. He sees that there's no warp gate being researched. He's going to know that a Stargate build is on the way. So both players are very comfortable with this state of affairs. It's not going to be anything interesting from Stats. I don't think Stats is really known to be a... You know, I feel like he's a Stargate user, you know? Like, he's not like a creator or perhaps even hero in some cases, you know, like he's going to, he's just going to play a nice solid standard game, get the Stargate up, control the map, and he actually really likes putting the Adept over here.
Yeah, we saw this earlier against Young Yakov, if you recall, just trying to keep an eye on any kind of wing move outs or anything out on the map, so yeah, interesting style here from Stats. But as you mentioned, he's just not really too much of an aggressive or cheesy kind of player. We don't really expect many all-ins out of him. Has done it before, don't get us wrong, but it's not really what he's known for. It's not really his expertise or speciality. So yeah, we should be just getting into a much more standard game, and we'll see how Stats deviates and how he adjusts to Solar.
I wonder if his idea is like to somehow hide the fact that he's going to have two Adepts coming, since they're kind of coming from weird angles. I'm not quite sure what he's up to with that patrolled Adept over there on that side of the map, but here he is now, two Adepts in the Oracle, and he's just saying, alright, I'll get a Creep Tumor, and maybe once I've got maybe another Oracle, then I'll start to really try and get some damage done. For now, poking around.
You say that, but the Oracle takes a lot of hits. One shot away from going down. We almost do get it. Stats does get away. Gets one drone kill, and Solar, I'm sure, talking about that escaped Oracle. Translator NXZ Jones, I'm sure, is on it. What have we got? What did he say?
It seems like he's saying, like, no is the second part. Okay. I don't know what the D and something going on, but obviously he's upset. Look, I can't remember, my Korean not so good, perhaps I'm there. I'm not sure. Any Korean speakers in the chat, they can obviously help us out, please. And in the meantime, look, so Stats, he took a calculated risk there. Basically, he saw there were two queens at the third, two queens in the main. At that point, typically, that should be kind of all Zerg has. So he said, is there nothing in the natural? Let me go and kill some drones for free. But there was actually another queen in the spore. And oh my god, the Oracle is up.
Yeah, the Oracle does go down there. They shade in towards that natural. We commit to the shade. Good positioning behind the mineral line, by the way.
Yeah, this position is really powerful on this map. And these Adepts are trading way more efficiently than they would ordinarily. Not that many drone kills. So relatively well handled by Solar, but nice little move from Stats, even though he does lose. Oh my god. Two more Adepts, I think. Did one of those escape?
No, they both did go down. Good counter micro there from Solar. You saw Stats trying to intentionally keep those Adepts alive, but Solar did hunt them down in the end. So good defense here, good cleanup by Solar. Did eventually get a kill on that Oracle that did escape him earlier, and now we're able to drone up and settle in towards our 4 bases. Once again, Stats opting to go for a faster Templar Archives before that Robo. Up!
So, you'd think, basically against a Baneling kind of style, having Storm faster is going to be more useful, but against these Lurker styles, I would have thought having that few more Immortals out a bit earlier would be what you'd kind of preference yourself towards, so kind of curious decision making considering what we're seeing. Ooh, these oracles really playing with fire, but they do pick off a few drones.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision there, just because we have such fast storm, and this typically, from stats at least, isn't leading into an earlier push, but maybe just feels a little bit safer having that storm defensively as he sets up on 4 bases. It is a little bit of a unique kind of variation here from stats, and I'm sure we'll get a better idea of it as the game progresses. Robo is now going to be on the way a little bit later. Stats just trying to stabilize here on 4 bases.
I wonder what this faster storm timing helps you against, going storm before the robo. Obviously, you get more energy on your Templars, you're going to have the storm faster. I'm just wondering like what kind of attack that he might be looking for, because I do think it probably gives him less pressure on the map, and obviously less immortals, as I mentioned before. Ooh. Curious to see, by the way, has there been any kind of... Yeah, exactly right. What's the transition here from Solar? He's on 67 workers, just making roaches and ravages right now.
Yeah, it's a 3-way all in. Here we go. We cut workers at 67. No workers whatsoever here on the 4th base. And we're knocking down those rocks. We're getting ready for a Queen. Drop a Lord all in across the map. And stats... He hasn't confirmed this yet, but he's being active with these oracles. But it looks like he's still stuck here in the center of the map. He's going to miss the move out.
This looks really good for Solar, I think. If you had to pick a build against someone just going straight for Storm, but he will have Storm ready for this, so it's going to be so important to see what kind of Storms he can get done. Nice blink to protect the Templars, but the Queens are here in the natural already, and okay, first Storm is not too bad. Solar's just going to keep trying to get onto these Templars. I mean, so far this looks great for Solar.
Yeah, I mean, the storms are looking decent here, but we dive on top of the armor. We focus on every single high temple. The stalkers as well. There's almost nothing left here to defend. We do have some reinforcements on the right-hand side. We have the overcharge. With the overcharge, it was a little bit too far out of range of the army. And Solar, he will break the 3rd. At least he's looking to.
Solar, I think he's really got a amazing timing here, and I don't think Stats is going to be able to hold on, and maybe this is kind of part of the weakness of going for this fast storm. This Mortal does go down.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same build 2 games in a row, or same kind of playstyle from Stats, rushing into that tech, and Solar punishing it so hard. File's going to be shutting down the would-be shield batteries. Stalkers are falling left and right as well. The blinks are not good enough. Probes are going down as well, and we even picked off that Immortal earlier. We have one more Immortal coming into the fray, but again, Solar, he's still almost maxed out. His macro behind this is insane.
Stats is coping right now. He does play Protoss, but not even Protoss is enough to come back from this situation. So, I mean, to be fair, he does still have the 4th base, but he's just got no units. And Solar's just overwhelming him with roaches and ravages. Stats microing his heart out. Oh, the Cybercore goes down as well, and Solar really just cleaning up Stats here.
Yeah, it does clean up, does break through into the natural. GG gets called as Stats loses his final Immortal, and Solar will take the series 2-0. GG.
That was a really, really nice timing from Solar. So he kind of showed, I've got the chops to play kind of a aggressive macro game, dictating the pace of the game, and then he said, okay, let me just macro up, defend, and then just hit a really powerful timing attack. And in both cases, Stats just not quite able to weather the storm, and he's been taken out 2-0.
There you go. GG, well played. And with that, Solar is going to be one of our first to advance on to the semifinals. I say one of our first because we have some other updates coming in. I wanted to praise Su earlier, by the way, because Su, he took down Rainer's Protoss 2-1. He took down Showtime 2-1 as well. Some of the best Protoss players in Europe, but Su did fall to MaxPax. And MaxPax is also, or is our first player to make it to those semifinals.